Hello, this is Mike McEwen reporting live from Newscast A in Ontario, Canada.
And this is Jeff Blue.
Today we will be reporting on the recent earthquake in Yan, China.
We have reporters on scene ready to give information on the current situation there. It sure has been a hectic day for the people in the area.
Before that, let's go to our meteorologist Anthony Jones for the weather.
On April 21st, 8:02 a.m., an earthquake struck Yan, China. This earthquake measured a magnitude of 7 on the Richter scale. Many counties lost power, and rescue teams have been dispatched immediately after the aftermath of the earthquake. It is cloudy at 74 degrees Fahrenheit, and people are very devastated.
I know. I have relatives in the Yan area.
Hopefully your recovery is quick and painless and quick, eh?
At least they don't have to be freezing in the aftermath of this disaster. Our hearts and prayers go out to those affected in the Yan earthquake.
Now to Allie and Becca for exactly where the earthquake happened.
The earthquake of Yan, China happened on April 21st, 2013, which happened to be a few days ago. So Allie, where exactly did this earthquake happen?
Well, the earthquake actually happened in the general area of Ya'an, but it directly impacted the counties that were inside of it, such as Lushan, Beijing, and the Sichuan province. And what happened was, in these areas, there was a lot of destruction, therefore citizens had to evacuate, and they had to go into other tents and cars so they could be safe. Around 189 people died, 11,393 people were injured, as well as 21 people went missing.
How did the earthquake begin?
Well, as you can see here, the Longmingshan Mountains are along the Longmingshan fault line. So, usually faults are on a transform boundary. Therefore, the plates, they shift back and forth on each other, causing to form cracks in the ground, as well as seismic waves being able to travel across the region.
When did you first hear about this tragedy?
I first heard about the tragedy when I was at the studio the other day getting ready to record for an 8:30 a.m. broadcast, and it just came in that there was a major earthquake in China, and so my co-workers and I, we had to rearrange the script just so that we could let our viewers know what was happening at the time.
Interesting. Do you know the magnitude of this earthquake?
Yes, as a matter of fact I do. According to the China Earthquake Administration, the magnitude measured to be a 7.0, and according to the U.S. Geological Survey, it measured to be 6.6 exactly.
Well, Allie, thank you for coming today. We appreciate the important information you gave us. Now back to CJ for further details.
Joining Hendrik Knudsen.
Hello.
Let's get into the questions. So what are the average death totals that occur in major Chinese earthquakes?
In recent years, earthquakes have averaged less than a few hundred deaths, except for one in 2008 that killed over 60,000 people.
What about longer ago?
China has a long history of devastating earthquakes. In fact, 4 of the deadliest earthquakes of all time have occurred in China, including the most deadly one, which struck in 1556 and killed over 800,000 people. There have also been numerous other earthquakes in the past that have also been very deadly.
How have the earthquakes that took place in the medieval China affected the people?
These earthquakes not only were dangerous, but also sparked criticism of the emperor at the time, due to the mandate of heaven, which states that the emperor has the right to rule, but natural disasters such as earthquakes acted as a signal that the emperor was not ruling correctly.
Alright, thank you for your time, Hendrik Knudsen.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Alright, next up on Canadian Newscast, we're going to face-to-face with the 12th century Chinese emperor next. So stay tuned.
This is Abby Kogan reporting from the Emperor Taizu's palace in Qifeng, China. Taizu is the ruler of the Song Dynasty, which he established in 960 to unify China. A 7.0 magnitude earthquake has occurred in Yan, China. Emperor Taizu, what are your thoughts on this tragedy?
Well, I am clearly saddened by the devastation this tragic event has caused to my people. I am also worried that the gods might be angry with me.
The Chinese believe in the mandate of heaven. The mandate of heaven is a belief that if the gods think an emperor is unfit to rule, they will cause a natural disaster. Do you think that you lose your position of power, Taizu?
Yes, I am very concerned about this, but if the gods want me to step down, I will. I do not want to cause a peasant rebellion by disrespecting the gods.
Peasant rebellions have been less frequent since Taizu came into power due to the meritocratic government he has enforced. In meritocracy, any citizen can rise to power by going to free universities and passing civil service exams. Taizu has been a great ruler.
Thank you, but I'm afraid my time as emperor has come to an end. I hope that my people will recover from this tragedy under the power of the next great ruler.
But Emperor Taizu, you are the most powerful man in the Song Dynasty. Everyone looks up to you. Why would you voluntarily step down from your position and forfeit your power?
The mandate of heaven is a huge belief here in the Song Dynasty. If I refuse to follow it, complete destruction could come across the empire. Both the people and the gods would be furious with me.
I understand. Thank you for your time, Emperor Taizu. This has been Abby Krogan reporting for the Canadian Newscast Day.
We just got word that the DeLorean was found, and we are going back in time to talk to the reporter in the 12th century.
15 minutes with Juan Valdez. I'm here interviewing a man, a Chinese villager who was affected by the earthquake there. His name is Tim Mingring, and I'm just going to ask him a few questions about how this has affected him, everything around him, his life. So Tim, how has this affected you personally?
Well, the earthquake has killed all of my crops, and it's flooded my field. My house is completely destroyed, and most of the things in it is also destroyed. Not only that, but I've lost my wife and son, who died because of the flying pigeons.
Flying pigeons is a tragedy. They're very dangerous. You always have to watch out for those. And I know this is hard for you, but how has it affected your village in places where you and your neighbors have lived?
The village was just completely destroyed and messed up. Most of the houses are wrecked, and a lot of our people have died or have been lost. It's really a tragic moment.
Very tragic indeed. Do you think that you'll ever be living in that village again? I mean, you describe it so that is so bad. Do you think you'll live in there again?
Probably.
What was your initial reaction when the earth under you started to shake?
At first, I really didn't think much of it, and then when it went on for a couple of minutes, I started to worry. Then I realized the situation, and I panicked.
And you mentioned how you lost your family. Just give our audience here a brief description on how many people lost their family.
About approximately 70 people have lost their family.
Just in your village.
Lost family.
And it's very tragic, people. And as we sit here interviewing him, we have this behind us, and we can see from the market that earth started to shake. And look, the grapes are at building level. That's how ferocious this earthquake is. Smoke everywhere. Thank you. This has been 15 minutes with Juan Valdez. Hosted by Juan Valdez. Good night.
Hello, this is Adam Jost here with the government official after an earthquake that occurred here recently in ancient China. So, might I ask you your name?
Oh, hello. My name is Wang Yao. In your Canadian ways, it'd be Yao Wang.
Now, Yao, can you tell me about the damage that has occurred because of this earthquake?
I cannot tell you all the damage, but I can tell you the gist of it. I've heard reports that 3 towns have been completely destroyed, and there is some damage to the palace. The Yellow River has flooded.
Can you tell us more about the damage done to the palace and the flooded river? How are the peasants taking this?
Well, all I know right now is the palace is under construction and the farmers are devastated at the loss of their crops in the flood. Peasants, in fact, believe that the emperor has lost the mandate of heaven. I've heard of peasants talking about rebelling. He might have to step down.
If he steps down from this position, could that be bad news for you, being close to the emperor?
Well, I'm worried that if he does, I might have to take a civil service exams again. And this time I might not pass. This is a meritocracy government, and after all, you need to improve yourself.
Thank you. This is regretfully all the time we have here for today. Now we go to Perch with a Chinese villager.